Okay, welcome to this part of the vBrownbags. Today I've got Amy Lewis, also known as Comms Ninja on Twitter. Jimmy Ray Purser. His Twitter handle is
Jimmy Ray _Purser.
Because I'm that creative.
Yeah, that's nice. The underscore is what I think makes it.
Well, it took a while to think that one out. It's like, is it underscore? Or
is there another Jimmy Ray Purser that didn't use the underscore, and you're like,
I killed him.
But yeah, you still couldn't manage to get his Twitter handle.
Yeah, no,
you follow through on your digital rights, man.
Yeah, you're right.
And Rob Boyd. Also, Rob Boyd on Twitter.
Yeah, very creative as well. And it's the 3 B's in a row because my family's wealthy. We got a lot of extra letters.
Well, that's always helps.
Cool.
Texans, man.
These are what you got.
So, I'm not sure how much of our audience is familiar with these two gentlemen. They run the TechWise TV for Cisco.
They should be very familiar. That's the best show ever.
If you're not, you're a loser. I'm just saying.
So for anybody that doesn't know, can you tell us a little bit about TechWise TV?
Sure, we're a vendor show. I mean, we work for Cisco. We've been doing this for about 7 years. We're a show that's about telling Cisco stories. Ideally, it's honest. Well, we know where the budget comes from.
Oh yeah,
but at the same time, we're ideally going to tell technical stories to a technical audience in a way that honors some of the brilliance that we think, ideally from a ground-up perspective, engineers, software designers, and such like this versus executives, which we actually will shy away from and figure out. We'll actually create other show series to put them on just to avoid having to put them on our main show.
Oh, we don't go on TechWise. You're on TechWise B. That's your show.
No, TechWise TV Plus.
Oh, yeah, Plus. That's the one, right. Because you're extra special.
Yeah, works every time.
We love you guys.
Yeah.
The vision of Cisco and the marketing revolution.
Another visionary show.
Thanks for that one. That's about as useful as a weekend at my mother-in-law's.
Bring a tear to my eye. I love those shows. Sorry.
They evidently keep you guys on a pretty long leash, it seems like.
It's amazing what we get away with.
It's fun to push it is what it really amounts to.
Is your beard cowering in fear of his beard like mine is?
Are you kidding?
Because mine is like, my beard is like...
I felt one shrink 3 inches already.
Exactly.
And it needed trim.
My beard was going, I'm not worthy.
It's certainly not worthy, no. Absolutely.
Sorry, we're having fun. We've done it. We upset the host. Now it's our attention on it.
Now we get back. Yeah. That's how we get another
ninja.
This is vBrownbag. vBrownbag Survivor Edition.
Is this supposed to be content? Sorry.
Well, we wanted to again introduce you to this community. vBrownbag does a lot of professional development work, and I know you guys are more on the networking side. This team has always focused a little more on virtualization. There's plenty of crossover. So, what kind of shows are you shooting these days? What's on your mind technically? What are you here for VMworld for?
She didn't finish answering the question.
Yeah, so
redirecting. This is called delegation.
Yeah, we'll bring it. We've got an audience at home that, to a great extent, isn't able to.
It's a shame that people in the virtual audience can't see the thousands of people that are lining up trying to get a closer look. It's overwhelming the ability of the sound system to reproduce our brilliance. But
you in the back.
So tell us what's
the question again? What shows are we working on?
Yeah, what shows are you working on? What have you gathered from VMworld?
Well, VMworld is really one of those you see, the thing about the data center, it's kind of like, in my opinion, it's one of the last bastions of engineering creativity in all the networking disciplines. We're pretty rock solid on voice, big snooze fest, messing with that stuff. Routing and switching, you're at the Moore's Law point of it right now. It's like, bigger, faster, more bandwidth. Woo, good job.
On the next episode,
and it's
faster, it's smaller.
Yeah,
he said bigger because it really didn't get bigger.
Well, no, it does get smaller. Bigger backplane.
Less heat.
And less heat, no kidding.
Less
fans go both ways. Like,
greener.
Woohoo! Boy,
reversible, and we've red and green. We've labeled them so you know which way to put them in your aisle.
Oh, that's right.
Sorry, you were saying.
We changed the bezel. Hey, boy, how long a meeting did that take? But data center side is really, and that's what we're focused on here, right? And so one of the reasons that brought us to Spain, besides the paella, that's good stuff, isn't it? But have you tried the black ink one? Anyway,
I'm still spitting out shells.
But yeah, that's they kind of come out the other way for me.
You gotta eat slow.
Yeah, no, you do, man. Because if you're not, you're gripping the handle pretty good. But anyway, the piece that brought us here was really this whole converged architecture piece. Because one of the things that we're noticing is that because you have so many multiple pieces here and multiple vendors. It's how are you putting this stuff together and not making it a support nightmare, right? I mean, all engineers want to be creative, but we also know that in this world, there's no single vendor that does everything at one time. So we have to be able to make something that is, very friendly with everybody else. And that helps if it's been tested before, because we've all been through the deal. It's like, hey, you can buy your memory cheaper if you buy this other kind. It's not the silver brand, but buy the cheaper one and you put it in, and now your management doesn't work. And data center, every millisecond counts. I mean, it really honestly does. I mean, when we're actually looking at designing based upon how big our data is, what our time limits and processing are, we're really changing the game big time. And so we're here to dig in that story, find out if you're building a converged architecture, does that take away the creativity from the engineering side, or is there really kind of a place for it? And that's really what's bringing us here.
Right.
There was something about converged architecture and...
why you're here.
You lost me at paella.
That's not good, because it's supper time, man. I'm starting to have death. What's the food? The lunch is good here, too.
If you get in time.
Well, they had sushi. What are you complaining about? That's one of your favorites.
It's like rice sushi.
Well, yeah, but still.
A piece of colored something in there that they said was meat.
Well, I had the fruit, so.
Yeah, you're that way.
So,
Colombo.
I got a question for you guys. You strike me a bit as like the click and clack dynamic going. Do you guys have a click and clack version of
that's actually one of the reasons we were talking earlier about podcasting and what we miss. Because the hardest part is that we don't get to do that as much as we'd probably like to.
Yeah.
Because we are not that we get overly serious, because we try to keep. I think one of the fun things about doing corporate videos is it's so easy to separate yourself by simply having a personality.
Somebody with a suit up there.
It had to be a good personality.
Yeah. Welcome to our switch. Our new access point mounts on the ceiling. Good job, man. You almost wrinkled your tie. Put some Oscar-winning moment there, man. Yeah.
So on one hand, it's not hard to be. Man, your e-smoke is getting over. Wow. You gonna pass the hookah?
I think it's cool, man. Makes me feel like I'm at a Nugent concert.
Exactly.
Don't you know that?
So I think we don't get to do it enough. And so thank you, by the way, because you might see this is like therapy. Because we get to.
Yeah, we're on that business.
We're putting it in. We put the personality into the show, but at the same time, we're trying to accomplish things in a certain time frame and be technically accurate. And ideally, there's a balance between when you put together a tight show that achieves some marketing objectives, but still pays attention to the fact that we want to relate something technically that you can grab onto, and that any engineer would stand up and watch and go, okay, you got me interested in that. You revealed something I didn't know about. No, it's not training. It's not going to be that long. It's not going to be anything like that. But it was accurate and it was realistic. We weren't playing simply to the bill payers. Because at the end of the day, I mean, Cisco.
Everybody can read. You can read a data sheet. I'm like Jimmy Christmas. We're not playing to the goober crowd who doesn't know how to read.
People that can't read. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like chances are you know how to read because you're probably certified. So here's the cool stuff behind the data sheet.
So that kind of answer. But we do try to go for the personality. We're a little bit looser here, and we don't mean to hijack.
No. This is anything going on. This has been awesome. Yeah.
Okay. But we are kind of a little bit opposite. So we're kind of like brothers from another mother, and dad too. I mean, when you look at it that way.
Well, you know what I always think is funny. Can I say something? So this is what I'll say. Goes back. You don't like.
No. Mute.
Let's ask my own question.
Speak, Josh Atwell.
So
we've been looking for that for 7 years.
That's an inside joke. I don't know. So I always find it funny because hyper intelligent, very smart engineer, and the whole bit. And I'm like, does it ever bother you being from Tennessee? And I'm like, you sound like you're the dumb one. Because I'm like, a southern accent will sneak up on you. You get a southern talking engineer, and you're like, oh, I got this guy right where I need him. He'll play that on you. It'll mess with you, and I'm like, okay, well, I can pronounce better, so they might think I'm smarter. I got better pronunciation.
Okay, so vBrownbag, a big focus is professional development. So what are some of the things that you do to research topics, to advocate for professional development? How do you advance your own careers? What sort of community resources, what sort of things are you reading, doing?
So I would say that this is something he's going to have a more in-depth answer based on the fact that he's always going to maintain his engineering credibility. And that's one of the things we try to preserve from the show perspective, is because he does represent that part of the audience that we're going for. And to do that accurately, he's got to stay up to date on any number of things to understand, keep a pulse on it. And I actually count on him to do that so that I don't have to, for the most part. Most of what I'm going to do, not being an engineer, is I actually turn to social media. I turn to, I think, a lot of people that are watching this show, because you've turned me on to a lot of great people, because it's usually we're looking for opinions and contrasting ideas, things that need to be considered, kind of get the pulse at it. We reach out to our community, for instance, to test drive topics and get feedback on how we're going to handle certain things. Sometimes you'll see directly exactly how that will change the content or be reflected in it. But in general, I'm going to look for the pulse, and then my responsibility is because he ain't going to do it, is keeping up with the marketing side of how well we're marching. Yeah, for instance, I shared with you the last script that we were doing, because I really respect your opinion. You gave me one of the best answers back, because you showed me where I had kind of a broken thread in reasoning.
You just had a yes in there, though.
Yeah. You complimented my writing. I said, she's brilliant. But you identified a thread, and so that became feedback, and that's a small example of what's done, because I was certified in security from not a deeply technical perspective, because I've always been a salesperson on the technical side, but that was what I specialized in at the time, and so it made sense. Now we are spread across so many technologies, my brain can't keep up, and so I do rely on Jimmy Ray to be the real smart one in the group and honestly carry that load, which I think you do quite well. So to speak to what you do, because actually, and throw in what you do from you take professional development very seriously, yes?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's a really big part of this job, and I think that anybody looking to transfer to a new career opportunity at another company and stuff, I think, even for me, one of the first questions I ask is, what career path plan do you have for me? This is the direction that I'm going, and I always trade off money for career goals and stuff. So for me, what I like to do is I'm an engineer. I was a product designer for about 10 years and work on, I write my own code and have a few patents and some hardware and switches and stuff. And so to me, it's looking at, really what is it that you honestly like. I mean, I don't like voice over IP. I can't stand it. We have new shows on and stuff, but it is honestly, it feels like I'd rather go to the dentist than go do voice over IP. I'm like, man, guys, it's Qualcomm, shut up. Okay, I hear you guys want to talk about Jabber again. Here we go.
We can light the phone now.
Exactly.
Call waiting light.
You see this music on hold button? It turns red now. I'm like, woo.
Hey, that was a whole segment.
But again, there's other people who are incredibly passionate about it. If you're an engineer, if you're a salesperson, if you're a manager, and most importantly, I can't speak to any of those because I've never been any of them. But as an engineer, I would do what I do for minimum wage. And it's the honest freaking truth. I mean, I'm grateful that it does it because I really like to eat, and play video games. So, they'll pay $60 a disc now. I mean, come on, man.
Let me give you an example, because you're not going to brag on yourself, but one of the most important things he does for the show is he runs customer appointments on a very regular basis. He maintains relationships with partners, and every Tuesday and Thursday is days I know that I can't schedule time with him when we're working on stuff, because he's going to be out, generally because he throws out his calendar, and partners in the Wisconsin area and Chicago area have usually got him scheduled in advance. Now, what he'll also do, though, is redirect those appointments to reflect content that we've got coming up so that we can get realistic opinions. But just a couple of the many examples I've got, as much as you hate voice, one of the things you did is you're willing to admit when you don't know and that there's other passions you may need. We're working a call center show. So take voice and how much he doesn't really care to do voice and multiply it times 10. That's a call center show. Okay? And I think call center shows, there's something interesting about it just from customer service stuff I think is a little bit fascinating because it's so measurable. And there's something about it that tweaks my OCD. But what he did is I called the other night and he goes, I'm kind of tired. I've been up all night. Well, what's going on? And he goes, well, I wanted to know what it was like to work in a call center. So he went out and he found a customer, not a Cisco customer, because that would have been the easy way to do it.
Oh yeah, because they're like, we love Cisco.
Actually, they like Cisco, which made it entertaining as well. And he went and spent an 8-hour shift working, 4 to 6 hours as a call center agent, and then spent times with a couple of different management teams, understanding how they slice and dice the data. So it was like, what did you do, the 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. shift?
Yeah, 11 to 7, yeah.
and that was in preparation for the show we were shooting, I think a week or two after that. So we try to, unfortunately we can't always talk to that. Like in London you went and got with through a Navy friend and you got into the surveillance stuff that London is famous for with their surveillance. Unfortunately we can't bring that stuff in because he was sworn to secrecy.
Yeah.
I'm like,
so thanks for that. I'd say MI5 shooting me now. Thanks, Rob.
But I think that answers some of
now interviewing a new technical host for TechWise.
Yeah, I miss them.
Well, this has been awesome with you guys. I had
what? Sounds like you're closing us out. Well, is this broadcast TV? Are we out of time on it?
We got to go to commercial break.
Oh, commercial break. Got to pay the sponsors.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, sponsors.
VMworld.
Actually, we sponsored this segment.
Cisco.
Yeah.
What happened to that Cisco sound? We don't use that anymore, do we?
Oh no, it was like this really big deal for a while, and then everybody kind of like got burnt out on it. It's like, listen to that sound. Yeah, it sucks. Let's go.
One more salesperson puts that as a ringtone, I'm going to ring their neck.
Oh man, that was so annoying. But it's like you always tell the butt kissers because they'd have the Cisco tone.
Give us the mic.
Suck up.
I mean, here we are doing a show, and this has just been awesome because I had no idea that TechWise TV even existed.
That's our audience.
6 people love it.
Perfect. Yeah.
Hi, Mom.
But they're nice.
You guys were talking before about having thousands of downloads of some of your stuff.
Yeah, we've got good numbers, but I don't know where they go. That's what they've told us.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of in the same boat, and we're definitely geared towards a different. Well, I don't even think we're a different audience. I mean, it sounds like it's the same audience, it's the same people, just in kind of a different technology.
Look at the geeks in your audience here. It's the same geeks we like.
Yeah, definitely.
Geeks represent. That's what I'm talking about.
All right, we just blew the sound system.
Oh yeah, I probably did, huh?
We got to upgrade and get us a. Yeah, never mind.
But I definitely think we've got to do more. Figure out some way of tying in what you guys are doing with what we're focusing on.
Sounds good.
Yeah, you're talking to the same audience. You've got the similar focus, just a different technology set. And in this day and age, technology. Those crossovers, like what you were saying with data center being the only area that's really innovating,
That's true.
You really have to get, and when you talk about data center, it can't be just virtualization, just networking, just servers, just storage. You really need all of that all
If it gets you
together.
started, power to you. Absolutely. That's what's fun. The more you dig, the more you go, whoa, look at all this cool stuff. It's like Canada. You always forget Canada's up there. And then you go, wow, look at all this cool stuff up here.
I do like hockey.
And curling. Don't forget curling.
Places to go.
No, the poutine. Oh my gosh, those French fries with gravy and cheese. Yeah, poutine.
That's something else.
That is the best. Man, that's
blue, baby.
That's what we call a resume generating event.
Hey, I didn't name it, man. It's some French thing, man.
That's what she said.
Y'all don't have the mind, man. I'm telling you, I'll blow that off on you guys. I don't even know what y'all talking about.
I would imagine that if somebody does a search for TechWise TV, they'll find you guys.
Absolutely. It's TechWiseTV.com. We bought the URL because Cisco, we can't figure out where to be we're still fighting for a home, but we're only 7 years into this in terms of
which is pretty quick for Cisco time, though. I mean, it's 7
when
years.
you translate the years, it's actually like a month or two.
Yeah, and Cisco like dog years, but the reverse.
Yeah, there's all one word, TechWise TV. Just put those together and you'll get pretty good hits. Yeah.
Awesome. And so is all of your content is video at this point, right? Is that?
We used to have a lot more audio on a regular basis. We've put out a show every Thursday for 7 years.
We got animation
some
too.
length. We do some animated pieces and things. It's all video related.
Okay.
So we have a couple different storytelling vehicles that we've developed over time that we try to keep going depending on the topic.
I've got a question. Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
They know it's coming. You may recognize that as the
speech impediment.
the cartoon version. So a couple of years ago, last year, you produced a video that I think this audience will recognize.
Oh my gosh! What the heck, man?
Do you want to sing the song? Do you want to sing us out?
I can't even remember how to sing it. So do you want the backstory? So we did a.
It was a great idea, though.
Yeah, it was a really good idea. You know the things you develop in the lab, and then you're like, wow, customers aren't buying like we thought they were. So we do this.
I can't believe nobody like Yumi.
Test, dev, production. Is this somewhere?
We skipped something. Anyway, production was fast. So we have a series, the animated series that we developed a while back that was to help us tell stories that were ideally Cisco innovations that didn't lend themselves to They weren't about a product. We wanted to go, whether it was TrustSec for security or EnergyWise for different things we're doing in the switching and the rest of the infrastructure, and they've turned out really well, and they're very popular. And so we were asked to be on the stage with Steve Herod and for the contest thing, and we're like, let's just blow their minds and do something nobody expects. And so we started throwing ideas back and forth.
Like
so
stripping, that was the first one, we're going to go up and kind of do this.
So it could have been worse, yeah.
That was my idea.
So what we ended up creating was we wrote a song. And now you can explain, because technically there was a good reason why we chose location identification.
So just a Lisp, yeah.
And Lisp is a you want to explain exactly how that
so basically they said, give us something on Lisp. And we're like, okay, well,
Lisp is an acronym.
Location Identification Separation Protocol. And we're like, okay, well, we can do that. Him and I bat around a few ideas and stuff. And I'm like, let's do a quick fundamentals. And then I called him back, and I'm like, let's do it like Schoolhouse Rock. We write this jingle.
I love Schoolhouse Rock.
Yeah, because Schoolhouse Rock is freaking awesome. And so we used it based on a Schoolhouse Rock video, basically, and Noun. So I got the lyrics to Noun, and then just started plagiarizing the crap out of them, man. And it's like, well, for every network you can connect, and everything.
And it's an earworm. I mean, it'll stick in your head. But it was the first time we'd ever worked with a music producer, so it was again one of those chances to do something we'd never tried before. And we're not music writers, but it was.
That's probably hard to tell, though. They're probably like,
those guys are really professional.
You got Rogers and Hammerstein. Technically speaking, those guys.
But look it up. It was fun. It was GIST, G-I-S-T, of Lisp, L-I-S-P.
So, again, I know
we laughed right up. We only did San Francisco. We changed up the demo for Barcelona.
Yeah, no, we came to Barcelona. We're like, no, we'll get.
We read the dead silence of the crowd and the overwhelming number of tweets. Because we were lip syncing the part of it. This feels stupid. But
it was so quiet. We could hear atoms vibrating. We're like, oh, wow, man.
That is quiet.
Man.
So it's still fun. I wouldn't change a thing.
No, I wouldn't.
And I toss that out to the community because it's one of the questions I got asked about most. So, if that's the only time you've heard of TechWise TV or seen TechWise TV, you can see the other side of TechWise. This is the software side.
Are they still employed? Yes.
And I've had
the rest of the show is every bit as bad.
There's a benefit to why the people that pay our bills don't actually watch the shows.
And I've had the honor of going into their studio and seeing their process. And we've had Jimmy Ray on an episode of Engineers Unplugged that's going to air soon. And again, just introducing them to vBrownbag because I love the vBrownbag guys.
Yeah, it's definitely groovy.
So anyway, just community connections. So appreciate the time. I'm going to pass it to GS.
Thank you for everything you guys do, man.
Thank you.
This is not easy work what you do because I know as we try to overdo so many things, but keeping up what you guys have accomplished and what you do on such a regular basis, because after Amy introduced me to it, I have to admit that I wasn't familiar. I start working back and looking up the names. She goes, oh, you need to know this person and this person. I looked this up. I started following people differently and stuff like that based on, because that's what she does. She connects people, right? Yep. And she's very, very good at that. Many of us know this. And anyway, you do outstanding work, and hats off to the fact that that's not simple.
Well, I thought they spread the freaking syrup on my pancake stick this morning. Dadgum, boy, freaking work it.
Later.
And I think on that we'll wrap it. Thank you very much.